Data is an angle in a standard position. We know that sine of data is negative while cosine of data is positive, and we need to name the quadrant in which data lies. So we know that. Let's review what we know about the angles in different quadrants. So in the first quadrant, all trigonometric functions are positive. So all trigonometric functions are positive. This means that it's not our case, because in our case sine of data is negative, so it's not the first quadrant. Now, second quadrant. In the second quadrant, sine and cosecant trigonometric functions are positive, so sine of x is positive and cosecant of x is also positive, while the rest of the functions are negative. So other trig functions are negative. Again, this is not our case, because here sine of x is positive and we know that sine of data is negative, and also here cosine of x is negative. In our case, cosine of data is positive. So data is not in the second quadrant as well. Let's look at the third quadrant. In the third quadrant, tangent of x is and cotangent of x are positive, so tangent of x is positive and cotangent of x is also positive. But all other functions are negative, so other trig functions are negative. Again, this doesn't work for us because we know that cosine of data is positive, and in the third quadrant cosine of x is negative. So data is not in the third quadrant too. Now let's check the fourth quadrant. So in the fourth quadrant, cosine and secant trigonometric functions are positive. So cosine of x is positive and secant of x is positive, and the rest of the functions are negative. So other trig functions are negative. And this actually works for us because we know that cosine of data is positive. And in the fourth quadrant, cosine is positive. Also, we know that sine of data is negative, and in the fourth quadrant, sine is negative. So we can make a conclusion that data lies in fourth quadrant.